Hi sweeties, how are you all doing? Welcome to Nanyacim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for always coming back to watch my videos. You all are the best. So guys, the biracials are spilling the tea to black people and them. Before we get into this video, let me tell you what started this video and the discussion. So I just imagine the crazy shit white people say around you about black people, not knowing you are half black. All right, so I am gonna let this video roll so you all can hear how it all went down. All right, and please stay glued to your screen, do not go anywhere. You definitely will like.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time. It's time to expose. Alright, so one time I was with this group of white people, and the girls were talking about this girl who had jungle fever. And this white girl goes, "Isn't it a shame to see our race mixing with another? What's going to happen to our white purity?" I couldn't believe what I just heard. There was another time where I was at a party, and the only other black person there left early. Right after he left, one of the white dudes there proceeded to say the N-word. Not even in a song or anything, just said it out loud. When I confronted him about it, he said, "What? He's not here anymore." Little did he know that I'm a double agent. Needless to say, that situation was handled. There's another time where we were talking about an opposing basketball team. We were talking about why the team was so good, and somebody goes, "They're only good because they let all the charity cases on the team." There were no white people on this team. I'm sure I'm not the only white passing person with these kinds of stories, so feel free to duet.
Oh my goodness. So which one is white purity? I don't know. I just don't get it. Which one is white purity? And it's actually him saying, he said that he's acting like a double agent. Absolutely. Okay, now let's get into the stitches and see what other biracials got to tell black people about this, all right?
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time.
I swear, this video was honestly just made for me. So I live in upstate New York, and as I'm sure you've noticed, I look very white. I've got super light eyes. I was born with blonde hair, and my mustache is still very blonde. When I say I was born blonde, I mean blonde. You don't quite get it. Blonde. Same exact thing with my little brother. Look at him. Looks like Tweety Bird. This is our dad, and this is our mom. So I've heard stuff like this my entire life. But the worst one actually came at my job. So for the last 5 years, I've worked at 3 different gyms. And the worst of these, I won't say the name, was in Albany, New York. Now, my job was to get people in and get them to sign up for memberships. I was a salesman. One day, this older white lady comes in and sits in front of my desk. The standard procedure in sales, we ask what their job is so we can try to, upsell them on memberships. And she tells me she's a teacher in Albany School District. These are the race demographics for Albany School District. Feel free to pause it. She expresses to me that she hates her job because these kids don't listen, and that it's because black people don't take care of their kids. She thinks they should be sterilized. I ran out of time, but there is a part 2, trust me.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time.
So this person talks about being able to be a double agent in white spaces, and I wish that I had that ability, but just because white people don't know that I'm black, they see me and they know that I'm not white. They know I'm not one of them, and so they're careful. They don't know what I am, so they don't say anything. They don't say anything. They'll be like, "So, yeah, I had some Indian food last night and it was really good. I love India." Or like, "Oh yeah, I would love to be able to speak Spanish. It's a beautiful language." They don't know what I am. Drives me crazy.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time.
Right now, I look mixed as fuck because my hair is done, but normally pretty white passing. I've heard some shit. Most notably, however, was on the set of a movie. Don't ask me the name because I'm not about to say it because drama. I will also use different names to protect the anonymity. I don't know if I said that right. If you worked in film before, 11 hours is a normal fucking day. Feet was hurting. A white passing Hispanic person had overheard one of the main actresses' distress cries to the director. Let's call the actress Biffany Babish. Miss Babish says, "My feet hurt, it's time to wrap." To all my film employees, the biggest lie in film history. One more take. Miss Babish says, "Okay, well then you gonna pay for my medical bills." I never see a director say rap so motherfucking quick in my life. And this white Hispanic had the audacity to say, "Ooh, I'm so glad we have Miss Bavish to go ghetto on them." Oh no. I said, ghetto? She said, yeah, black.
I'm sure I'm not the only white passing person with these kinds of stories, so feel free to duet.
It was a Tuesday morning. I'm a college sophomore. Woke up late like any other date. And as I'm walking to get a breakfast plate, I see my friend coming at me the other way down the green. And I saw him and I thought, wait. Because the look on his face was real mean. I mean, beet red. Like he just got out the wrong side of 15 beds. And then this guy looks me right in the eye and he says, "I'm going to kill every last one of those goddamn towel heads." And I said, "What?" And that's how I found out the Twin Towers fell down now. Later, when he and I talked it through, he apologized and I accepted because I knew he was just angry, terrified, and confused and directed those emotions exactly where the news told him to. The moral here isn't that when I didn't have a beard, it wasn't quite as clear that I am half Syrian. No. The story goes, as every mixed kid knows, no matter who's to blame, sooner or later, it'll always find you all the same.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time.
This one's fun for me because for years I've been talking about how, because of how I look and speak, I know how racist people talk when they think they're alone. One time, my grandma forgot who my dad was and told me and my mom at breakfast, "I don't have a problem with any of the races, I just don't think they should be mixing." It was extra fun because aside from the fact that my dad is essentially full Mexican, my mom is half Mexican. My grandma had a baby with a Mexican, but she was bamboozled into thinking that he was a Native American, which apparently made it okay. I work on a pot farm and our next door neighbor just straight up thinks I'm a white guy. So much so that during the summer, when it's extra apparent I'm a brown person, he walked up to me and called me a white N-word. You know, because he thinks I'm a white guy, but I'm so brown.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time. It's time to expose.
So I'm not white passing, or at least it's never happened to me before. I'm pretty racially ambiguous. I've been mistaken for a lot of things, but I am mixed black and white. However, this is my husband and me. And these are our kids. So cute. It's kind of hard to tell in this picture, but this one right here, the younger one, has blonde hair and blue eyes. They're still pretty young, but in a few years, they'll be double agents, just like the guy in the video that I stitched. Talking about racial identity with them has been a complicated and difficult conversation. But in a few years, I look forward to seeing them use everything I taught them on how to use their white passing privilege for good.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time. It's time to expose.
I'm not mixed nor white passing, so I'm not a double agent. But as an immigrant, I've had people tell me some really messed up stuff because they knew that I didn't understand the culture and they would probably get away with it, which they did at the time. I had this girl in an interracial relationship telling me that even though she liked her boyfriend, she probably would never marry him or have kids with him because if she did, they'd probably end up not looking like her and she wouldn't like that very much. My ex-best friend once told me that she wanted me to have a baby because she just had a baby. This way they would grow up together and go to school together, and as we were saying things that they could do together, I'm like, oh, maybe they'll end up marrying one another. She was like, ew, no, I would never want my son to bring a black girl home. I pointed out, you know that'd be my daughter, right? She just looked at me in the face. She's also pointed out many times that she'd like to experience Black D at least once in her lifetime. I was like, okay, and how does your husband feel about that? And she was like, oh, it's not a big deal. I wouldn't date them. I'd just sleep with them.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time.
Yeah. People get bold when they don't know what your racial background is or they think that you're one of them. Not only that, but when people do find out what you are, because you tell them, some of them don't like your answer and they want to do everything within their power to disprove to you that you are not who you say you are. So they go out of their way to be racist. One time a girl was sitting in front of me and she was rehashing lyrics to a rap song that had a lot of the N-word. And not only that, she was using the N-word even outside of the context of the lyrics, knowingly in front of me. I called her out, obviously, on her BS. And She looks at me dead in the eye and says, "Don't worry. I won't say this in front of a real black person." It's good to know she's not racist in front of black people.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time. It's time to expose.
Okay, I can heavily relate to this because very obviously I'm very white passing, but I'm actually half Chinese. So the things that non-Asian people will have the audacity to say to you when they don't know that you're half Asian, or honestly, they will know that you're half Asian, but because you don't look like it, they will expect you to agree with them. High school best friend's father would constantly say incredibly racist things about Asian people to me, and expect me to agree because I'm very white passing and I don't look like an Asian person. He would constantly say that Asian people are bad drivers and make fun of them and then compare them to my mother. He would pull his eyes back and talk in a stereotypically Asian accent, even though it was more Vietnamese, and say that I was like my mother. My mom was born in the USA and doesn't have an accent, and she's Chinese, not Vietnamese. Used to work for Disney and we have a lot of Japanese guests there. I'd have coworkers directly after helping a Japanese guest start mocking them. Usually for the shock value, I would immediately tell them I was Asian and they'd be like, "There's a lot more."
As a white passing mixed person, I hear racist stuff all the time. It's time to expose.
Okay, so this isn't actually going to be about me being white passing. It's actually going to be about people mistaking me for being Hispanic or Latina. Specifically, one terrible experience at my first job when I was 15. So my first job was at a grocery store and I was a bagger because I was too young to be a cashier. You weren't allowed to be a cashier until you were 16. I pushed carts and I would bag groceries for people. So one time, me and this white cashier guy, we got into an argument. We're going back and forth, and then he proceeds to call me a racial slur for Hispanic people. And for a second, I'm just like, that's the wrong slur, buddy. Like in my head, I was just kind of like, if you're gonna be racist, can you use the right slur? Anyway, I went to my manager, which was this white lady, and I told her what he had called me, to which then she proceeded to basically just say, "Oh well, move on," and did nothing about it. Right there at the age of 15 was my first experience of racism in the workplace.
Some people are actually not nice, you know, and some people intentionally say bad things to hurt people or use some kind of language just to like intentionally hurt you, and that is so bad. I mean, oh my gosh, I love the fact that the guy is double agent. Absolutely, I love it. All right, this is where I'm going to end today's video, and let me know what you all think in the comment section, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.